So the big question is, how can we overcome the obstacles to innovating leadership and organizational design for the future? How can we help you create organizational transformation the way you want it at the scale you need it? Perhaps the first question we should ask is, what are the challenges to better leadership, better team engagement, better accountability, and better collective results? There's no doubt the number one challenge is simply this: leadership development is not working. 366 billion is spent each year. However, leadership development, talent acquisition, retention, and people engagement are still at the forefront of company needs. 94% of companies plan to retain or increase their spend on leadership development. 25% report less than 10% of critical leadership positions have successors. And only 19% of organizations say they are very effective at developing leaders. And amazingly, 83% say it's important to develop leaders at all levels, yet only 5% say that they do. At Novo Leadership, we have unveiled the 5 gap closure truths through evidence-based repetitive results within our programs. The first fundamental truth about leadership is that you cannot lead others until you can lead yourself. That is a missing key in what our programs actually focus on. The second fundamental truth is that leadership cannot be taught. It must be experienced and supported throughout implementation, and that's exactly how we've designed our programs. The third fundamental truth highlights the fact that culture eats strategy for breakfast every single day. Therefore, all performance is a byproduct of purpose. Period. The fourth fundamental truth is that great leadership works through emotional motivation and adversity intelligences. And that's the core of our programs. In fact, that's the online learning modules within our programs. And then there's a strategy execution gap where the leaders set a strategy and ask everyone to execute it, but there is a buy-in gap. There is not enough buy-in because the people executing those strategies have never been involved in creating the strategies or at least providing feedback on which strategies can improve. And how we do that is move teams from this ego-centered or ego-purpose conditioned past to this collective purpose and vision future. And we do that through engaging microcultures, which I look forward to explaining to you. Challenge number 2 is that leadership development can never keep pace with operational accelerators. See, in every business, there is some kind of accelerator. There's always an accelerator. It could be capacity, it could be new work coming in, it could be high growth. It does not matter. There's always some kind of accelerator. And then there is leadership capability development. They can never match up. But the most common way of trying to effectively close that gap is a push leadership methodology where you attempt to close the gap by accelerating leadership development. It simply will not work. It simply does not work. That's a top-down unilateral approach. In our programs, we know that gap exists, but what we do is we help fill the gap. It's a pool leadership solution to fill the gap. And how we do that is through getting your leaders involved in cultural evolution so they're experiencing moving the culture and moving the teams forward by doing that. So introducing the P90XL Leadership Development Program. There are 3 main delivery channels, but it's completely customizable based on your needs. The first channel is 90-minute workshops that we run every month throughout the year. We take a year to build this program and run this program to execute that. We don't have to. You can run it as a 12-week, but we generally recommend you take a year and we run a workshop every single month based on motivational adversity and emotional intelligence. And there's then a backup program they can run with that. We then do top-up one-to-one coaching where required. And then we run 90-day strategic workshops built around culture and people strategy. You have your functional goals, your functional targets, your functional projects. These run alongside those and enhance the effectiveness of your functional goals. It integrates seamlessly with your current strategic initiatives. And we work with the HR team to globally deliver that to your organisation. We know that when we help organizations and leaders focus on cultural evolution, we see 25% better engagement. We realize 50% higher retention. In other words, leaders experience cultural evolution are 50% less likely to leave, and we see 70% more sustained results. So, welcome to a new era of people engagement and performance where science meets humanity.